Okay, I've just come across what it possibly could be one of the worst installs I've ever seen. Like, and this is just looking at it. I haven't actually even taken it out yet to see what's behind it, but just have a look at what's been done with the dash. Okay, so they've put this doubled in JVC in here. The dealers have put this in apparently. Apparently there was a Japanese unit in there, and so they took out that to put in a New Zealand stereo for the customers. I managed to pop this thing off. Look what happens when you pop this off. Usually there's like a couple of panels here. Usually there's a glasses case, and this is just a separate panel. You get behind here, it's just one clip holding it on. The rest of it's all just wrapped in this carbon fiber shit. This has all been broken, and I'll just get into it. Let's see if we can get this one off. This one, as you can see, there's a nice overhang there. Nice overhang there. You can see down the top of it to some broken metal. Looks lovely. Let's see if I can get this off. What's going to be the best way to do this? Probably going to try and just pop it off from the side here. Yeah, no, I think I may have to take it off the regular way. I mean, yeah, I'll get all this trim off first, and then I'll try and get this out and see what I can find. Okay, so I've taken off this bottom trim and that surround. It looks like this thing is just kind of wrapped around the original, and it's just clipped in. Let's see if I can pop this off. Oh, jeez, this is very poorly done. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, it's like two separate pieces. Oh, there we go, the whole thing's coming down. It's all been wrapped. Oh, okay, so this is all just sitting loose by the look of it. Yep, not screwed in at all. Let's have a look behind here. This is just a piece of wood with this original piece of plastic of the dash glued onto it and then wrapped in this carbon fiber stuff. Same on this side. Oh man, let me unplug this thing. Turn the ignition off first. Okay, so this is the heater. This plastic was part of the dash. Originally that would have been screwed through these holes and into here so that the plastic, in here so that the plastic stays on. All they've done is gotten some wood, broken off and glued these on, some sort of wood glue in there, wrapped in this carbon stuff. Oh look, cardboard, terrific. Always good to have some cardboard. What is that? That's a bit of random plasticky. I can't even tell if that's metal or plastic. Okay, let's move on to the stereo. Nice and sharp metal, nice. Oh man, I could stab myself on that. More on this side, but nicely cut up. I'll lift all this out and we'll have a look at what the connections are like. Okay, so I've lifted it out. The only thing I've unplugged so far is the aerial, because that's the shortest thing and it allowed me to get more out. Let's see if we can untangle some of this and figure out what is actually going where. I can see RCAs already. Oh no, I can see big thick speaker wire which has been run to do something. Wait, is this a Bose system? No, it's not Bose. It should be factory. It should be pretty standard for wiring up. This is RCA though. What is that going to? Line out rear. So there's some sort of amp somewhere powering something. I'll have to look for that. Does have camera input, which is one of the main things they were complaining about. They said the reversing camera wasn't working, which it apparently has. I'll investigate and see if I can get that going. What is this? This is something thick, which goes to this bus cable. So maybe that's for an external CD change. No, it goes to this thing. What is this? This is, oh, right in the coke, a JVC Bluetooth adapter. Now that is an awesomely massive Bluetooth adapter. Bluetooth these days is less than the size of my fingernail. It is built into all stereos. Well, not all stereos, but it's built into any stereos that have it. This is the world's biggest Bluetooth adapter I've ever seen. It's like the size of a speakerphone. It looks like a microphone cable, which is run perfectly. Oh, there it is. Up there. So just focus on that. just popped it out of there and wrapped it around the hinge of the sun visor here. Looks good. This is the ground bolt. Yep, okay, so the ground wire, the nice tight one here, along with the parking brake wire. At least they know how to do something. At least they know how to, ground it out, which there's a bit of solder in there. So I've got the ground wire going to a nice big gold screw onto plastic. Granted, that probably goes through to metal, but it's terrible using the bolt as the ground. You should always have the wire or the crimp on the actual metal itself. It shouldn't be using the bolt. The bolt should only really be there to hold it on, not actually be the source of ground. As was for the top piece. What else have we got? Oh, I see something massive here. Oh no, that's the original loom. Okay, so that actually looks like it. Oh. So that's the original rear speaker wires. Here is the original power supply one, and the only things that it looks like they've used is the permanent power supply, the accessory power supply, and the illumination power supply. These are the original front speaker wires, are all still here. The original rear speaker wires are all still here. I'm wondering how they are powering the speakers. What have we got? These great big thick things. Okay, so these thick speaker cables, silver ones. That one's going to grey, which is your front right. This one is going to white, front left. Okay, so they've obviously bypassed the factory speaker wiring completely and run their own. We'll figure out where this wire joins on later on. Looks like we've got crimps on this one wrapped in white electrical tape. This one here is the same. I reckon I could just probably pull those and they'll come out. Yep. Okay, so what we had, I'm not even looking at it. Looks like we had a female, actually, oh, I know what that is. That's not even a joiner crimp. These are crimps where you put one in, you put both ends in and then crimp it flat, and it's like just a kind of a permanent crimp where it's supposed to just, hardwire it. It's not one that's meant to be disconnected. So all they've done is use those, and this wire just pulled out so easily. Watch how easy this one pulls out. Easy as. Probably the same with the front right. Now, doing this one-handed. Might leave that for now. I'm going to have to rewire all of this. Power supply, what have we got? Permanent wire. Heat shrunk, and by the feel of it, soldered. So that's something. Lots of extra wire, probably could have chopped that a wee bit. What else have we got? Accessory. Look at this. So they put heat shrink around it. Focus please. But they forgot to shrink it. So all we've got is a nice loose piece of heat shrink covering up that accessory connection. Focus. Which is twisted and soldered. And illumination, which is here. Yeah, this one, they half shrunk it at this end, but not so much at this end. Ay, ay, ay. Good work, fellas. I'm going to have to put all this back and go tell them it's going to cost them a bit of money for me to rewire pretty much everything. I'm assuming, since they've got the rear speaker wires, hopefully these aren't in contact with each other, since they've got these twisted up and taped, that these RCAs are going to an amp somewhere, and the amp must be powering the rear speakers, and they will have had to have bypassed those speaker wires as well, because they're not using the wires that are up here. Yeah, alright, let's do some more investigating. Should mention also, the people who did this, like, even more so clearly don't know what they're doing. They've got this wire here going, which they've heat shrunk on the end. That one is one of the power antenna wires, no wait, sorry, it is not. That is something completely different. That is a front speaker wire, I think. Yeah, that's been, or is it cut off really short at the plug, just there. They haven't got this one here. Keep the camera focused. This one here is the aerial power. They haven't got that one connected, so you'll probably get really bad reception. they obviously don't know that this brown wire here is a ground wire, so you don't need to do that. You can actually just solder straight onto this. The other thing they definitely haven't done is connected the steering wheel controls. Could have had that going. Lots of stuff to do. Okay, so I've taken off this trim and this kick panel, sorry, and a few things to see. Here's those speaker wires that we saw before. Looks like they're just going straight through. Here they are, nice and covered in tape, not protected it by the grommet at all. Shoved through the grommet there, probably connected to the speaker here somewhere. Notice another thing, they've got their remote, their RCAs and their power all running next to each other, which in terms of a speaker amplifier, I mean in pretty much any amplifier case, you can sometimes get away with it for subs, really weak ones. It's a big no-no because power wires create big electric fields, and then the RCAs pick them up and you get engine noise. So we'll still haven't figured out where this amp actually is. I'll find it in a minute, but yeah, nice bundled under here. Jeez. Amplifier. Okay. We've got a unsecured, just sitting here, Rockford Fosgate. That's something, I do like them. Prime R304, which is a 4-channel, not a 2-channel. We've got 2 RCAs going in to channels. Sorry about that, someone called me. So yeah, we've got 2 RCAs going into a 4-channel amp, which is just, you know, brilliant. Not really. What sort of setting is this on? Punch bass is on +6, all pass, punch bass on channels 3 and 4 is on +12. Down this end, let's have a look at connections. Oh, very short. What we got? Okay, so we're using channels 3 and 4 rather than bridging 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we got some nice frayed looking power connections. Who knows where the ground is going to? It's just all brilliant. And they, by the look of it, so those are going up and powering. That's going up and powering the what? Must be powering the rear speakers. This I just discovered there's some Soundstream torrential 6x9s here. Don't know where the wires for them go, but I'm pretty sure they weren't going before. So open this up and see. They go down to a crossover box, which goes even deeper again. Who knows? I'll wire up what I can and then see if they go. Cool. Okay, so now I've at least got it in some kind of bloom. These people are waiting to go, so I didn't have much time to do everything real fancy, but I've at least got the stereo loom nice and organised. I've done all solder connections and then wrapped them in electrical tape. Taken off any excess plugs, put any excess wires such as this RCA cable and that Bluetooth cable as far down as it can. Also, I didn't point out before, they've used sellotape to wrap their RCAs. I'm not going to touch that, I'm just going to leave it as is. Haven't got time for this. Okay, I'll try and put it all back in there. Normally I would take the time to kind of take out the unit and then, you know, put the brackets on the table and file all this down nice so it's no longer like, you know, jaws, teeth on the sides of the bracket, but unfortunately I just don't have time for that right now. Okay. Oh, turn the volume down. Okay, so shut up. So I've got it all plugged back in and wired up. I set it in there and it all set in fine. I got all the wires out of the way, so I know it's not a problem. Front, all 6 of the speakers are going except for this one here. I don't know why. Obviously the connection at the speaker end isn't very good or has fallen off, because I know that my solder joint is fine. Also the tweeters aren't going, they are still on the factory wiring, which the original people didn't know how to wire up. So unfortunately they're not going to go in this case because I haven't got time to take off each door card and wire all the speakers back to factory. Since I've got time now, I'm going to have a go at the camera. there is a reversing camera on the back, and that's these wires in here. So obviously this isn't going to plug into an RCA. I have to cut all these off and try and get it to wire up. I think there will be a problem though, because it takes pretty sure it takes a 6-volt power supply for the camera, and I haven't got any means of making a 6-volt power supply. So I'm going to have to, do something with resistors if possible. I may actually end up canning this if I, can't figure it out or can't get any resistors to do it. Okay, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get the reversing camera going. I did hook an RCA cable up to it and see if it would go. I soldered it all together and got it all wired up. Got it to the point where this flicked over to reverse when you put the gear stick into reverse, but unfortunately no signal came through, so I'd say that the old camera on it is stuffed, which makes sense because it is an older vehicle and the camera has been there pretty much since the start. I asked them if they wanted steering wheel controls going, but they didn't want to pay the money to get the interface wired up. Obviously front right woofer's not going, unfortunate to them. They have to go to Dunedin now, so they're just going to have to live with it. If they want to get it all fixed up, they can come back and we'll try and source a new part for it. So this was fun. This is what you don't do for any DIYers out there. You don't go hacking dashes to make it all look carbon. You live with the colour that it is, black, nothing wrong with it. Pay people who know what they're doing to do it. Alright, cool. See you guys.